Welcome to Frequency Gaming. I'm Jay, and we're going to take a look at why it might be a good idea to purchase Battlefield 1 DLC in the shadow of the highly anticipated Battlefield 5. With the announcements of Battlefield 5, I've been both excited and nervous. It's a good thing that EA isn't pumping out a new Battlefield every year, and each one they come out with does feel unique to say the least. On the other side of the coin though, it seems that we also find ourselves swimming deeper and deeper in the marketing schemes for EA to squeeze even more money out of us. Does EA even see me as a fan anymore, or just another cow for milking? I have to admit that I don't doubt that Battlefield 5 is going to be a fantastic game if it's anything like the trailer portrays it being, but I'm also losing trust in EA. After the original announcement of Battlefield 5, you can't even play Battlefield 1 without being bombarded with the news. At first it's exciting, but then what takes from my excitement some is seeing that players can already begin earning what I see as trivial rewards for Battlefield 5 in a strange attempt to get players more excited. Does EA not understand that I don't care about more skins and camos? On top of that, there is already an entire tab just for Battlefield 5 as if it's already been released, and behind that tab, one will find, of course, promptings for them to pre-order the game. EA doesn't have to work so hard to get me excited for the next Battlefield. I'm not a big fan of this pre-ordering business either, but that's a topic for another day. What I honestly see happening is the microtransactions unfortunately continuing. After all, as long as players pay for them, why would EA stop? I don't doubt, however, that the game itself will improve with more innovations. Am I going to buy Battlefield 5 at a full $60? Probably. Am I going to pre-order or even buy it on day one? No. Instead, I'm going to sit back and let it ride out a little until I know exactly what I'm going to be buying. Regardless, fans of Battlefield like myself are gonna want to play Battlefield, but I found myself having difficulty getting into Battlefield 1. That is, until recently. After waiting a year before buying this game, and then waiting another year before even thinking about buying any DLC, I finally caved. I decided to buy the DLC to see what it had to offer, and I was surprised to find that it was perhaps worth the money for me in a very different way than I thought it would be. Let's take a gander at what I found, and what kind of players would find it worth it to purchase the DLC, and which players would feel like it's still a waste of money. Before getting completely into the DLC, I have to mention that I love Battlefield for the unique experiences that players find that other AAA multiplayer games just don't offer. From blowing airplanes out of the air, finding that sniper that I wanted to get revenge on for so long, blowing a tank to smithereens with guerrilla tactics, or ruining someone's pleasant Sunday cruise on their favorite motorcycle. It's all this awesomeness and adventure that keeps me coming back. What made dumping that extra $50 into DLC excusable was how much it added and played on what I already loved about Battlefield 1. I have to admit, I have a weakness. I'm driven by unlocking stuff. Not just skins or voiceovers, though I couldn't care less about that stuff. I'm talking about more game content that I can play with after I've worked to unlock it. Like unlocking a new character in Smash Brothers or a gun attachment in Call of Duty because I completed some sort of challenge. When first playing Battlefield 1, I was happy to see that there were guns I could unlock, but I was very limited with my customizations of those guns, something I hope they add in Battlefield 5. However, I've noticed that there were even more guns that looked super interesting that I couldn't unlock for some reason. That was EA dangling the worm just out of reach. And I must say that after a year of being kicked from DLC content servers, I decided to give it a try. I'm very happy to say though that this is what I needed to really keep me engaged with Battlefield for dozens of more hours. I'll explain. I needed something to entice me to keep playing the game for longer, and I was just kind of burnt out of Battlefield 1. With all of these new challenges for guns to unlock, as well as a few new perks, I had something to work towards and a feeling of great accomplishment as I began to play with my cool new gun. I'm a complete gun nerd, by the way, and playing with all of these experimental guns that barely saw World War I is an absolute pleasure for me. Plus, so many of these new guns come with the coolest reloading animations that just make me nerd out a little on the inside every time I see them. Starting off with the Assault class, I'll mention a few really cool guns. The SMG-08, for example, like any of these new guns, requires you to complete some challenges to unlock, and after playing with it some, I found that it utterly destroys at close combat because of its high rate of fire and large magazine. However, it struggles to hit anything at a distance. It's a balanced gun really, yet powerful if used how it's meant to be. Another one I really enjoyed was the Ribbey-Roll S1918. With a medium-sized magazine and mediocre damage, it's not all that special of a gun until one uses the bipod it comes with, allowing players to fight more effectively at a range with the assault class. The RSC-SMG, say that 10 times fast, also provides a good all-around play style, allowing more range than most SMGs will, and I might mention, it has a pretty cool reloading animation for how small its magazine is. The Medic also has some really interesting unlocks. I should first mention the Howl Automatic. This gun shoots with an offset sight that feels strange at first, but turns out to be fun to use with its medium damage, high accuracy, and relatively large magazine. One of my favorites is the General Liu. Slow but powerful and deadly with just a few hits, similar to the RSC 1917 that's got a pretty cool reload. The Fedorov Aviomot allows medics to get a little more close and personal for those aggressive firefights too. With a little work to unlock the gun, support players get to cause some havoc with this bad boy. That would be the OA-18. As cool as that gun is, I really wanted to play with the LMG that had a magazine of 250 rounds, making it the gun with the largest magazine in the game. Once I unlocked the M1917, I found that the huge magazine was much more than I needed in a standard firefight, but was super useful for taking down airplanes. I thought with such a big magazine, this gun lying down would be overpowered at a distance, but I'm glad to say I was proved wrong. It's not as accurate as the Lewis. For the sniper class, I'm sad to say that bolt-action rifles just don't change all that much. There were some cool ones without scopes for closer engagements, I guess, and the suppressed sniper was kinda cool, but people could still see my scope flash from a distance, so the suppressor really didn't make that much of a difference. I should say something about the Obrett's pistol though. Unlocking it was a challenge for me, getting 5 kills with a mediocre pistol in one game, but I enjoyed the challenge. It's essentially a sawed-off Mosin Nagant used in the place of your sidearm. Although I would never want to shoot that in real life. It can kill in one headshot, but as a secondary, it's really more useful to whip out at last second to finish someone off. It's exciting to use too, because if you miss, you're probably screwed. There are some pretty cool perks too, like one that pops smoke on a downed teammate for you to revive him as a medic when you spot him. But that's one I still haven't unlocked yet, and we'll spend some fun hours working on it. For some reason, they added perks that make the game harder, if that's your thing. I guess I should mention that players are given some trivial number of battle packs if they get the DLC. I opened it and got more pointless skins. So, it's up to you. Is it worth $50 to buy this DLC? It could really be worth it if it keeps fans placated until October. I know I will be. And it'll definitely be worth it if you can get it on sale. I think I may already know the answer, but give me your thoughts in the comment section. And before I go, I should mention that if you feel like you're a solid team player and want to play some Battlefield together, just let me know in your comment, and you may just get a reply. This is Jay with Frequency Gaming, signing out. See, I